Hola chicos, buenos días. Espero que todos estén bien. I hope everyone's doing well. Vamos a empezar orando. If you have any intenciones, go ahead and think of them now in your head. Y rezamos juntos en el nombre del Padre, del Hijo, del Espíritu Santo. Amén. Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros tu reino. Hágase tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día. Perdona nuestras ofensas, como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. No nos dejes caer en la tentación y líbranos del mal. Amén. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo, del Espíritu Santo. Amén. Chicos, hoy vamos a repasar las notas. We're going to go ahead and do the notes together. So hopefully you saw that on the Google Classroom, I posted for you the guided notes that we would normally do in class. You can complete these notes one of three ways. If you have a printer, go ahead and print them and do them by hand. If you don't have a printer or don't want to print them, you can go ahead and write them in your notebook, or you could just make a copy of this document and type directly on it as we go. Either way, follow the video and fill it in. Empezamos aquí with the key. This is over expresiones con el infinitivo. Now, before we start with those, we actually need to remind ourselves, what is the infinitivo? We've talked about it before, but the infinitivo of a verbo in Español, there are three different types. They can either end in AR, ER, or IR. They're the three types of verbos that we have already learned how to conjugate. And if you remember, all three of these endings translate directly to the word to. Okay, so comer would be to eat, okay? Estudiar would be to study, and escribir would be to write. Notice again, all of them end with the ER, AR, or IR, and they all mean to. So, let's go ahead and look at some ejemplos to translate. Now, so far we've been working with really simple sentences. Yo como desayuno, yo estudio mucho. What happens if we have a verb phrase or more than one verbo in our sentence? Now, let's look at the first one. We want to drink water. Want is the primer verbo, and to drink is the segundo verbo. How would we translate this to Español? We'll start at the beginning. Nosotros. The verbo want, for those of you who don't remember, is desear. So we're going to cross off the ending and add deseamos. Now notice that the next one is to drink, okay? We want to have that word to in there, and so we're going to say beber. Do not conjugate it to bebemos. We keep it beber. And then we have agua. Nosotros deseamos beber agua. Notice that the first verbo is conjugated and the second verbo is the infinitivo. All right? Looking at the next sentence, they should is our first verbo, study is our second. Now, even though it doesn't have the word to there, we're still going to follow the same rule as the first example. Ellos, for those of you who don't remember, deber was should, so cross out that ending and conjugate it for the ellos form, deben. Notice because it's an ER verb, it's EN, not AN. Study, since it's the second verbo, would be estudiar mucho. Okay? Now notice, the very first verbo is conjugated. The second verbo is the infinitive. Let's do just one more example together before we talk about the rule. Let's say he needs to learn Spanish. Okay, and we'll go ahead and translate that. él. Notice our first variable, necesita. And then we come to our infinitive, aprender español. Okay, so again, first variable is conjugated, second variable is the infinitive. Okay, muy bien. Which takes us to our rule, the formula or the rule. If there are dos variables in a row, the primer or first variable is conjugated according to the subject, right? And the second variable is an infinitivo. It stays the infinitivo. Now I want to emphasize something here. This is when there are two variables in a row. So let's say we want to say, I eat and drink. Yo como y bebo. That's not a verb phrase. That's actually a compound verb. There's two separate verbs, okay, that are both going to be conjugated. This is what I'm talking about when they're in a row. Like here, we want to drink water. They should study. Right in a row, no space. Okay? So now that you have an idea of how to do it with infinitivos, let's talk about these special variables that are actually expresiones. Okay? Now, for those of you who like math, an expression or an expresión in math, remember, is just more than one number. Okay? So 3 plus 5, okay, is an expression. Expresiones in grammar are the same thing. They're more than one variable, okay, or word, I'm sorry. So here we have infinitive expressions. No longer just one verb. Now it's kind of an expression or like a phrase, okay? So it's greater than 2 words. And let's look at the very first example that we have here, okay, which is actually a variable you're all familiar with, ir a. Who remembers what ir a means? To go. And remember, it's very irregular when we conjugate it. Ir a, remember, is going to be voy, vas, va, vamos, van. Okay? Yo voy a beber algo porque tengo sed. I am going to drink something. Write that down if you forget that. Because I am thirsty. Notice that this is an expresión because we have a with voy. Okay? It's more than one verb in the very first part. Notice, very important, we still have an infinitivo second. So the first verb is conjugated, the second variable is the infinitive. We just have this pesky little a in the middle. Okay? Let's go ahead and look at another example, which is a variable or an expresión that you probably have seen in your notes, like on your, maybe on your Quizlet or on the packet, and it is acabar de, which means to just have something, just have done something. No tengo hambre. I'm not hungry. Yo acabo de comer. I just ate, so I'm not hungry. Okay? Notice again, we have here de going with acabo. We still have comer afterwards. So we still have our first variable conjugated, second variable the infinitive. We just have de in there making an expression. And the last one, again, is a variable you're probably already familiar with, and that is tener with K. So tener we already know from first semester, to have. But the K means to have to. So it's an obligation of some sort, okay? To have to. It's no longer yo tengo muchos hermanos. I have siblings. It's now I have to do something. Okay, so again, this is an expression that goes on. Son las 8:05. Oh my gosh, it's getting late. Yo tengo que ir a mi clase de historia. Okay? So again, we have this very first verbo, yo tengo, but we have now que in here, okay? Making it now a phrase. And we could use that with, for example, sorry, I don't know why that's there. There we go. We notice here that we still are using that with an infinitivo, okay? All of these verbos are conjugated first, have this little word after them, and then still have an infinitive to follow. Okay, so they still follow the rule. They're just special infinitives because they're an expression. They have a or de or que with them. Okay, so long story short, that's basically how we use infinitives and expressions. What I'm going to ask you to do now, and feel free to call a friend to do this or to FaceTime as you do parts 2 and parts 3. In part 2, you're just going to take these two expressions or clauses and combine them together. You can use maybe the word porque, okay, or you can use a period or the word pero, and you're going to combine them to make a sentence using these infinitive expressions. Nosotros no vamos a ver televisión porque tenemos que trabajar. We are not going to watch television because we have to work, okay? Do the exact same thing here. Notice that I leave you some space to just type or write. The third part, you're going to translate these statements to Espanol. Please do not use a translator. They are very simple words and expressions. You just need to practice using the formula. So you will not learn anything if you do a straight translator. Just translate as you go, like I did up at the top. The students, los alumnos, want. Okay, so keep following. Remember that the word to, when it's with a verb, is going to be the infinitive. To, when it's followed by a noun, when it's a preposition, is a. So be very careful when you're using those. Just do parts 2 and 3, and then please plan on Thursday to log in to the Google Live session and review these notes together during our class time. So if you're 6th period, log in at 12:45. If you're 7th period, log in at 1:30. Okay? I look forward to seeing you all. Please feel free to send me a message or email me to do a video chat if you want to go over this at all before jueves. Buena suerte. Adiós, chicos.